Well, good morning, everybody out there in Facebook land, TikTok world, everywhere this is going to be going live or have a presence there, recorded or otherwise. Welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, The Art of Monty Anderson, and hopefully, y'all are doing great out there. We're coming on a little bit later than we normally do. Nature called and wanted its corn back. All right. So again, hopefully everybody's doing great out there. We are going to be talking about new artwork and stuff that's going on right now. We got two different covers going on, blank sketch covers, yes, on actual comic books. This one is the Jared Leto Joker holding his golden gun, his golden AK right there. And then the other one is the illustrious, the beautiful, the ever talented Emma Frost, the White Queen, on the cover of an Uncanny X Men. Right there, number one. Bum, bum, bum. Yes, actual comic books. Interesting character arcs with what they've got going on in here. Got to see how Emma gets her arm back on. So that's what I've been working on right there. That's the newest of the new. And we keep rehashing all of these fine pieces of artwork right here that we've got going on. Good morning, Casey. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Thank you for being here with us today. Yes, I'm backwards. I didn't change that yet. I apologize. My bad. There we go. Now we're the right way. But maybe we're in the upside down. Maybe we are in Stranger Things. What do you think about that? Hopefully, we don't have any echo going on this morning. I don't have any extra buttons pushed on my microphone, so I think we're good. I appreciate y'all being here. We do have a lot of cool stuff to talk about when it comes to new artwork, um, horror movies, comic books, all that goody good stuff. Um, got the new horror series in the works. So those of you that like horror, HORROR, not the other horror going on out there. So with that, we've got three new pieces to the horror series that we're kicking off with. The very first one was Ghostface, which you guys are getting sick and tired of seeing without it being inked up. I just haven't inked it up yet. Then why have you inked up the other one? Because I wanted to ink it up. All right. So fuck off. Freddy Krueger. They've all got this blood sploosh that's going to go on them all. Right here. All in about the same vein. Because that's going to look cool. That's going to look killer on a shirt right there. I mean, just imagine that on a t shirt or a hoodie. And then that right there, Mr. Jason Voorhees of Friday the 13th fame. I did this one the very last minute of Friday the 13th to be able to consider it called being done on Friday the 13th. So there you go with that one. All right. So there's those. And then, of course, we've all seen the Harlequin or the Harley who laughs, the Harley Quinn. I still call her Harlequin. This is one of the masks that she wears right here. You see the cage on her face right there with the basically knives, is basically what it is. And then this other mask right here is they've got two different kind of styles and looks for her. Because one, all of her spikes are on her outfit, her costume that she wears, whereas this one is coming out of her skin. So they've already got two different versions of her, out there for the masses, and so it makes it very difficult to draw in continuity to being true to the comic book form. And then you've got the Batman who laughs, and yes, I posed for this shot. Again, you guys are tired of seeing them without being inked in. I get it. I will get the inking going. I just wanted to get some more tight pencils laid in on this one so I didn't fuck it up, especially on the, the veins in the hand and stuff like that. And then, of course, you've seen this one inked up. You're just waiting for the color, which is going to be a lot like the Wolverine #1 cover. If you've ever seen the Wolverine #1 cover, I use the same outfit. This is just me as Wolverine. Yes, that is my lovely mug right there that you're seeing. Just minus this portion right here. I could pull off the mutton chops right now. I got to get a trim. And then, of course, this one I'm going to ink up on the 29th. So it's going to be waiting on ink until the 29th. This is called Harrow from the Sour Worlds series by James Dixon, or James Bishop, sorry, James Bishop. And we're doing a book signing on the 29th in Ozark, Arkansas. So if you're in the area, drop on in and check it out. So I'll be inking this one up live, in person, in front of people. I'm so scared. No, I'm not. And then, of course, you all know this horror story so far. 3 months in, still no payment, and I'm done working on it until I start getting payment on it. This is the Stitch Witch memorial piece. It's not like I don't know where the guy works or when he's at work and when he's lying to me about how long the company was bought out by. It used to be Aaron Reynolds, and now it is called Max. And he's trying to pull one over and say, "Well, we just changed companies and we're not getting paid yet," and blah blah blah. Dude, you're the manager. You're getting paid all the time, even in the transition period. You were still getting paid. So don't give me some bullshit. All right, again, Jared Leto Joker on the Joker #1. Right there. Right there. And then Emma Frost. The lovely, unquestionable Emma Frost on the cover of Uncanny X-Men #1, variant edition. Why is it a variant edition? Because it is a blank sketch cover. See, there's nothing on the front, nothing on the back, but there is something on the front now. A set of boobies is on the front. All right. So, we got lots of cool artwork happening. We got lots of stuff happening because pretty soon I'm going to get in my comps for Condry. Well, I appreciate that. We love art here too. That's why we do what we do. Yes, this is one of my pieces, Mr. Howard the Duck, the OG style Howard the Duck, not the new CGI bullshit that they're pulling for the MCU. All right. So I'm going to be getting my comps in with Condry, Man's Best Friend. Those should be coming in pretty soon. All of them autographed by Patrick Hickey. And then I've got my comps for the Sour World series, the book, the novel that I did the cover for, which again is going to be happening on the 29th. So don't look at, this one is the correct one. March 29th, right here. This is my cover, my painted cover for the novel. So I am on a novel now. So I am super published out there. So not just in comic book form, but in written literature form. So then we've also got Ori, which is another kid's book by a friend of mine who is telling his life story of his boxing career through this story. It's called Ori, and it should be out on Amazon right now. My comps of that will be coming in as well. So I've got 2 books out there on Amazon that I've done the cover work for. Well, I did the entire front and back cover for Ori. I just did the cover work for this one, and this is going to be an ongoing series. So this one is a dark fantasy, if you will, horror fantasy, almost like anthology type stories throughout this book. And this one is Sour World's Calamides is the first one. I'm not sure what the second book title is yet, but he's already got it in the works and pretty much done, I believe. I'll be working on the cover for that one. So all these books are going to be intertwined by a vine. So whenever you put them together, they will all match up in some way or another with this vine going through them to tie them all together. So that's going to be pretty cool. Pretty cool concept right there. Let's see here. Dun, dun, dun. Got therapy today. We're got to figure out where all my paperwork is for that. I think that's all right there. I think I'm not 100% sure, but yeah. So, but yes, artwork is life here at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson. We have a lot of artwork that you can find out there on the interweb if you really want to. So, how's everybody feeling today? How's everybody doing? Are we doing good out there? Are we surviving? Hopefully, we're thriving more than just surviving. That's what we're trying to do here is thrive even more on a regular basis. All right, so for my new horror series, like I said, Pumpkinhead is coming up next with Candyman, hot on its heels. That's going to be my next two, so that's going to put us at 5 for the new horror series, which will get us pretty close to where we were with the originals horror series, which I've changed up quite a bit. Now, this could be considered part of the horror series as well. This is some of my dark art right here that I'm going to be working on in the more, like I said, Frank Franzetta style. And yes, I know he used oils more than he did canvases or acrylics, but um, I'm going to be using acrylic because I don't like the dry time for oil and so on and so forth. But these are just some of the dark arts that I'm working on right here, right now. And that's two of the 11 paintings that I've got going on, besides the 18 by 24 big picture that I'm working on as well, that I just got the new poses for, done by my personally. And that Jared Leto is a commission. The 18 by 24 is a commission. And then, of course, the Stitch that is not paid for yet, hasn't even been started paying on yet, is a commission as well. So there you go. That's what's going on here. We got lots of stuff happening. Besides the homestead, we just put the tie rods back on her car as of last night. Um, it's okay. It's still out of alignment just a hair, but we got to get the new tires on that she's picked up with her tax money, because that's what she likes to do during tax season is buy new tires for her car. And basically, she drives them till the wheels fall off, literally. One's down to the wire in the tire, so that's always fun, especially if there's any rain or ice on the ground out there. Which right now there isn't because it is a blistering 45 degrees here. And the new trailer for Spider Man Brand New Day just dropped as well. So there you go. Have you seen it? Have you seen the new trailer? I've seen bits and pieces of it. I haven't watched all of it yet, but I've heard it's a really good trailer. It's 9 degrees where Casey is up in Maine. It's a blistering hot day for you guys up there, considering it's been, in the negative temperatures. 8.8 thousand likes puts us in the popular live category. I appreciate the likes coming through. Don't forget to like, share, and follow when you get here. Um, we've talked about support the past two episodes that we've come on, and the biggest support you can do for an artist, and that's not just an illustrator like myself, but that's a musician, that is a writer, that is an actor, whatever, is to like, share, and follow that person, and to do comments on their post whenever they post something. Um, I've got a drop on my Facebook page right now asking what you guys feel about the highlight and the follow uh, feature that Facebook has introduced, that whenever you post something, you can tag people, your entire playlist of people that follow you or are friends with you on Facebook. You can tag them with the follower or the highlight, and it will draw attention to that post. And I've gotten, you know, the thumbs up approval from people on it, and then I've gotten um, it's annoying from others on the Facebook post. What are your thoughts about that as well? About the highlight and the follow feature? I'm surprised Roy isn't here. Is Roy here? I haven't seen him pop on. I know he was awake because he sent me a good morning text on on TikTok right here. So I'm surprised his jerk face ain't here. Yeah, Roy, I'm talking about you, jerk face. Watch, I'll probably get a restriction for that. Yep, there it is. Live restriction for some audiences for bullying. Oh, you guys are. My live does not contain that. There you go. And if they know that we're friends, TikTok is the stupidest place in the world anymore when it comes to their AI listening in on your shows and restricting you for stupid shit. If they saw half the shit that Roy and I talked about in messages, their little AI algorithm would go into a tizzy. Trust me on that. Um, but yeah, no, you gotta play by their rules, and you got to conform to what they want you to do. It's a bunch of bullshit, is my opinion on that. Um, because people are gonna say what they want to say. All right. And me talking about a friend and him not being here on the show because I know he was awake, not more than, right before the show started. And then him not being here and me calling him what I called him. That's light. So, TikTok, you need to get your facts straight before you start restricting people. And if you actually had a moderator sit in on everybody's live shows, which you really should, then you would see that you shouldn't be so quick to react to what people talk about, because there's people out there that talk a lot worse than what I talk about, or even calling a friend what I called him. All right, so you, TikTok, need to get your head out of your proverbial ass and let communication happen on our platforms. Okay, and I know we're not going to be getting into the Freedom of Speech Act and bullshit like that, but you guys need to pull your heads out of your ass and redo your AI bullshit that listens in on everybody's shows and deems it best to restrict people when they speak about things. All right, because whenever we have to change words, and there was another creator on here that I was watching yesterday. She was going about, you know, why do we have to change the words to these specific things so we don't get flagged or our videos don't get taken down. And this is why. The AI algorithm deems it best that whenever you call a friend of yours that I know personally, who I see on a regular basis because we live in the same fucking town, a jerk face, and then boom, I get restricted because I'm bullying. No, I'm not bullying. I can show you bullying if you want, but what I just called him is not bullying, period. He would be laughing his ass off right now if he was here. So AI and TikTok, your bullshit needs to change 100%. And with enough of us talking about the change for your platform, I think it could happen. Just like she was talking about, be the change. Yes, they are the bullies, 100%. Because like I've talked about before, you can show your butthole on here, and it goes with their guidelines, even if it gets reported. You know, you can have people making out behind a blurred screen, and you hear all the sounds going on, and that's perfectly legal here on TikTok. I mean, Facebook's got its own issues as well, um, with some advertisements that they used to portray out there all the time. That was straight up corn, since you can't say the other word. And if you reported it, they're like, we don't see anything wrong with it. It's just like, oh, so, people getting it on in this advertisement is perfectly okay by your guidelines. Cool. But yet, I show a picture of this without the blue dots on it, and I get taken down because it's too realistic, it's too raunchy, and it goes against your guidelines. Make up your fucking mind. All right? Yes, that's one of my more adult covers for you guys. Of Chun-Li of Street Fighter on the Street Fighter #1, Cat from Capcom, right there. And they deemed it too realistic. The last time I showed this one without the blue tape covering her up. And there we go again. I just got another restriction. Your live is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results because your live does not comply with the For You feed eligibility standards under our community guidelines. Reason: nudity and body exposure. See, I just got that for that. Um, bum, bum, bum. Now I've got to submit that one. So now I've got 3 restrictions on me right now. My comic book, which comic book? Condry, the man's best friend, or my personal comic book that I'm working on? Mine's in the wind right now because I haven't touched the writing on it. I haven't touched any of the covers, any of the interiors, or anything like that. I'm still on book 1. Again, I'm not a writer, but I'm writing this book from the heart and the mind, you know, and so I knew I was gonna get a hit on that one. Yes, my personal. Yeah, no, 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 no. I've wanted to work on it, but with the commissions that I've got coming in, with the commissions for the novels that are coming in as well, um, I am getting behind on my own project. Uh, if you are seeing back here, which you guys are not, I do have a canvas back here that has one of my covers on it that I'm going to be painting on a reclaimed canvas from a thrift shop. I got it for like $3 or something like that. And it's a huge canvas. I mean, it's big. It's of a seascape that somebody else had painted on there, and I'm like, no, sorry, I'm repainting this. So, and I've seen a lot of people do that. There's one artist out there who does really cool stuff with reclaimed pictures from Goodwill and thrift stores and stuff like that he finds. He'll go in and paint Star Wars scenes on them, Star Wars battles, and things like that. And it's really cool what he does with them. And a very 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 talented artist when it comes to painting on those canvases. He leaves the original picture on there, but then he does some extra stuff where he shows some explosions and from the blast of the laser rays and stuff like that, uh, from like an ad or whatever battles going on that he's painting from the Hoth battle or whatever. Is really cool stuff, and then he'll blow the frame out as well in those little sections, and add the broken pieces of wood back like it's splintering out from the hit of the laser. You know, it's pretty cool stuff what he does. I'll have to find it for you and show it to you. I can't remember. I haven't seen it in a little bit because I used to see it all the time on like a regular basis, almost every day. But TikTok, you need to change your shit because there's women that walk around on this platform that are less clothed than that drawing that I just showed you. So you guys need to pull your heads out of your ass on TikTok and change some things because if it's good for one group of people, then it needs to be good for everybody. You just can't just pick and choose who it's good for. And one of my restrictions just got taken down. So good job, TikTok. You're still a bunch of bullshit. Um, and so if you're gonna take one restriction down, you should might as well just take them all down. TikTok, you might as well, because what you guys are flagging me for doesn't happen here. We're here to support people. We're not here to bash people. We're not here to belittle people. We're not here to, make people feel bad. We support people, we uplift people, and we talk about, the good positive stuff that we can talk about until you get involved. Just like the prevention hotline, I can't even use the first word of this, which is 988 or 1 800 273 8255. If you're feeling down and feel like you don't want to be on this planet anymore, there's options. You've got those numbers to call 988 or 1 800 273 8255, or hit me up in DMs and we'll talk. There was another friend on Facebook that was going through some stuff, and you know, I told him if he ever needed to talk, just let me know, just hit me up because I've been through it and I can talk about any subject matter out there, from the loss of a son to the loss of a sister to the loss of a parent to the loss of a grandparent to the loss of a pet, uh, to the loss of marriage. You name it, I can talk about it. To heart attack survivors, military, since I'm a veteran, and saw my fair share of action in Afghanistan, from IEDs to firefights to car stuff going off, all that goody good stuff. So if anybody needs to talk, I can talk. I can listen as well, and sometimes that's all anybody needs is a listening ear. So there is that. Um, but again, if you want to support an artist out there, again, not just an illustrator, musician, actor, writer, um, whatever they do. No, well, I mean, we got our our combat infantry badge is what we got for that, but I didn't get the Purple Heart or anything like that. Uh, which we still gripe about some of the guys that did get a Purple Heart while we were over there, because one of them got it for a sunburn, One of them got it for a uh, round that was fired off, and it bounced up and went into his eye bass and gave him a little burn on his neck. Um, so yeah, some of the guys got Purple Hearts should not have got the Purple Hearts. Period. Um, and those were from our own unit, and I'm saying this. Um, so again, to support someone, go to their page if you see it float up or float by, and just like it, share it, and comment on it. If you're not already following that person, follow them if you like what they're producing, because that is the greatest way to support an artist if you can't do it financially. And a lot of people tell us that they're broke on a regular basis, you know. And then we get the whole stories of, well, this just happened. Well, you know, well, here it is 3 months into your piece of artwork and you still haven't paid shit on your artwork yet. You know, I should have just done the 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 pencil and the ink form and been done with it until I started getting payment on it. Can I turn around and sell this? Most likely. Is it going to sell in a timely manner? Who knows? But it was commissioned by you, dude. Start paying your bill. All right? Because you don't want to see what's going to happen next. You really don't. Little he owes me posters all over their building. You know, that'll look good for their corporate headquarters, huh? And I know right where he works, and I know when you're at work because you're at work all the time. Your stupid looking charger is sitting right out front. You know, and especially the colors are. I can't even say that word. Um, but anyway, old school. Use only as good as your word. Yep, dude's in a bad reflection. Absolutely. I mean, he's the one that commissioned. He's the one that came to me because when Crystal was alive, she had a piece commissioned for him, which was an Steve Austin sketch card that I did for her, which she gave to him for a birthday present or something like that. I can't remember. Well, he got in touch with me. He came to me. I didn't go to him. He came to me and wanted a commission piece done. And now, again, we're 3 months in, hasn't even paid a single dime on this period. And he's had every opportunity in the world because I know when the company changed hands, it's been max for at least 4 months. And then I get a message from him just at the middle of last month or the end of last month saying, well, we just got bought by this other company. No, you didn't just get bought by this other company. You've been this other company for at least 5 months. If I had to play back when they switched over, you've been max for about 5 months, which means you have been getting paid since you are the manager of this establishment. You are getting paid no matter what. You just don't want to put the money out. So, and us artists have to deal with that bullshit on a regular basis. No integrity. Can you imagine having a dodge or having to dodge that? Well, I mean, he's not friends with me on social media, so he doesn't get to hear any of this conversation that we're having. Now, if somebody's friends with him, his name is Jason. He works for Max in Fort Smith on Rogers Avenue. Um, then they can show it to him and be like, "What's the deal, dude?" And this is the piece in question for you, Jason. You've already seen the pictures. I've sent you the pictures. I don't know if you saved them or not because I deleted them so that they would not be readily available. If you went back to the messages and looked, or it's supposed to delete for everybody, but I don't know if it does or not. So, but yes, there's absolutely no integrity with a lot of people in today's society, and that's a bad a bad light for people. Um, because before, whenever you would talk about I'm going to purchase that. That was your word, meaning I can't do it right this minute, but give me a week or so and I will come get that piece. And generally, that's how it works. Someone says, hold that piece for me. I'm coming back. I still got some grease on me from her car. Um, I'm coming back for that piece, and okay, I hold it. And then normally they come back and say, hey, you still got that piece? Absolutely. You asked me to hold it for you. I did. And here you are. But this guy, 3 months in, as of tomorrow, will be exactly 3 months to the day. Yeah, I mean, and this guy, I'm assuming, I can't assume because that makes an ass out of me and me. Um, is I would have to say he's probably in his 40s, could be close to my age, and you're acting this way and throwing out bullshit when just pay the bill. I lowered the price for you because it is a commission piece for a friend who passed away for both of us that we both knew. And so I gave you a discount already because otherwise you would have been paying the full price if you just came at me and I didn't know this person. You know, I was being nice, but nicety's about to wear off. As of 3 months, no payment, nicety's wearing off quickly. And, you know, you told me how much you wanted to pay per paycheck. Okay, cool. Get it started. You know, that's all you got to do. Get it started. Get that money flowing in. And I'm sure you're paid every week, especially being the manager. I mean, unless they every 2 weeks, I don't know. I don't know how they get paid. You know, over at Aaron. I mean, I know that they do get commission as well. So, I mean, this guy could pay it off in one paycheck. He wouldn't even have to go per paycheck unless he's just, that far in debt that he can't do it that way. But, but all right. So, back to the horror series. So, again, Pumpkinhead and Candyman are coming up next. And then I got thrown out Iron Lung, which is a horror movie, which I have not seen yet, which I need to find. I need to find and watch it because I need to see what this creature really looks like in the movie. And then the Nun is going to be one. Who is Candyman? He is the uh, Tony Todd portrayed him originally. Uh, it's an urban legend about this freed slave that made out with the plantation's owner's daughter, got her pregnant, and then they lynched him and they poured honey all over him. Honeybees came and attacked him and all this cool stuff. Candyman's a pretty cool story. Clive Barker is the one that did it up. And if you don't know who Tony Todd is, he's been in a ton of horror movies, a ton of movies in general. He passed away last year or the year before. No, it's been It's been a few years back. I think it has been. I can't remember, but he unfortunately passed of cancer as well. And I've watched a couple of movies on Tubi that he was in here just recently. And but no, it's a very he's got a hook on his hand. You go in the mirror and you say Candyman, Candyman, Candyman 3 times in the mirror, and he supposedly appears later on. But he's got this huge hook on his right hand, and he wears this big old heavy coat. It's a very interesting story. It's out there on Tubi and other streaming services, I'm sure. You should be. I'd go watch it. Now, Candyman 2 and Candyman the remake, it was okay. Uh, no, 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 don't ever call yourself dumb, because it's they're older movies, and if you're not into horror movies, especially going through the paces, it's not a movie that's going to be on your radar. But I think there's three Candymans, and then the remake, because Candyman 2 was Farewell to the Flesh, and then Candyman. Yes, all one word, I believe. Candyman. Candyman. Yes, Candyman is the name of the movie. Black-led character, um, as the horror icon. It is, from the mind of Clive Barker, and very, very well done when it first came out in the 80s or 90s. I can't remember exactly when it appeared, but I want to say that there's more than one. I think there's three, and I could be wrong on that. Um, okay, so 1992 was the first Candyman. 1995, Farewell to the Flesh, and then Candyman 3, Day of the Dead. Okay, so there are three. And then the remake in 2021, which was okay. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but the first two are really good. Day of the Dead, it's okay. I can't say it's great, but for a trilogy, it wasn't horrible. For all to watch all three of them. And but then whenever they did Candyman the remake in 2021, I saw it. It was okay, and it might have took some liberties from the book. So, um, but yeah, I mean they're worth the watch. All four of them, and apparently they were going to do another one, but it was unrealized, so they didn't do anything. I'm looking to see if there's any more. Nope, there is not. All right. But yes, it was in the 1985 short story, "The Books of Blood," um, by Clive Barker, and the story was called "The Forbidden." So, and the synopsis that they give you here is, and I'll just read it. Candyman is an American supernatural horror franchise originating from the 1985 short story "The Forbidden" from the collection "Books of Blood" by Clive Barker, about the legend of Candyman, the ghost of an artist and son of a slave who was taken out in the late 19th century. So that's a quick synopsis on, because he was an artist. So that's why I like the movie, probably because he's an artist, I'm an artist. Wouldn't you like to be an artist too? Dun, dun. Not so much for everybody, but and our restriction is still holding fast with the two restrictions. Um, One of them should have already dropped off because it was only a 10-minute restriction, but we'll see. So we still have two restrictions in place, which means we're not getting any more people to see the post because they axed it out there as a live category piece. So, but that's fine. We will still talk it up. So lots and lots of artwork coming up. Lots of cool new stuff happening. Um, and I'm just looking forward to all the new stuff that's happening, especially with the novels hitting, and I'm going to have those in hand to, sell off. And then, of course, the Conjuring Man's Best Friend coming in. Uh, once Kelly's book, Kelly Badass, gets her books in house, I will be getting physical copies of those um, in a art exchange, basically her art for my art, which is her poetry books for my comic books. And let's see here. That's over here. My reviews are out on my 4 different books, 3 for Antarctic Press and 1 for Diebold Comics. Some of these I just can't show just because we don't want any more restrictions. So those go over there. We can show these off because you got Wolverine right there. These are all up for grabs as well. Spider Gwen, the Ghost Spider, #1 variant, right there. Doctor Strange, some Benedict Cumberbatch, right there. Art the Clown on House of Slaughter #2. Some people love him, some people hate him. Doesn't matter to me. I'll draw him. Chastity and Evil Ernie, right there. We saw the Swamp Thing in blacklight. Looks really cool. From the House of Mystery or House of Secrets. This is the reprint of number 92 of House of Secrets, which first starred the Swamp Thing in it. And then, of course, my cover for The Job #3 right here, which you can still get if you haven't gotten it so far. If you haven't done so already, that's all my homework. This is all my homework for therapy. Uh, but you can't work ahead. All right, what do we got up here? All right, we've already gone through these books. Dirty Bear, X Force, Oh My Goddess. I still got to get these in bags and boards. I was just happy to find the last. Oops. Oh, that's the card. I almost ran it over. That would have been sucky. That's the Super Pro introduction. I have a card. There we go. I got a card sleeve right here. I'm gonna put this in there before I freaking destroy it. Yes, I should really put it in the plastic sleeve and blah blah blah. There we go. Now he's protected. So in case I drop him on the floor again. Good morning, love. How's it going? I'm surprised you were able to find us with our restrictions that we've got on already. I'm a little salty this morning, thanks to TikTok and their stupidity. All right, so that's all those. So, we do have a lot of cool artwork coming up. Get you some, get you some, get you some. You need some artwork on your walls. Tammy. I almost called you Tiffany, and I don't know why. Tammy. So, yes, get you some artwork for your walls. You need some. You need some more. And we've got lots of it here. 3 portfolios worth of work plus new stuff with I think we're up to 24 pieces of new artwork happening right now. Um, between the paintings that I've got between the 3 commissions that I'm working on, and I just got the live restriction because um, your live is not eligible, blah, 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 because it redirects users to purchase products outside of TikTok. Who gives a shit anymore? You guys are fucking stupid. Yes, Clive Barker is still living. He's still alive and still doing stuff. I think he's got a new book out as of 2 years ago, maybe. He is one of the autographs that I would love to have with one of his illustrations in the book, one of his actual pieces of artwork. So I'm looking for those. I'm on the hunt for those. And so now we're back up to 3 restrictions instead of 4 because they took one off. But congratulations to us. We just keep getting restrictions after restrictions. Because now I'm redirecting you guys to go get artwork outside of TikTok, which shouldn't matter, especially if we're an artist and we don't sell on the TikTok shop, which I will never do. Okay. Um, so you guys can just go ahead and put a permanent restriction on me for that because I will tell people to come to my website. 30.1 thousand likes. Yes, Casey, we are up there in the popular live category, even with our restrictions. Oh, TikTok, TikTok, TikTok. You are a bunch of wiener heads. All right. You can throw that restriction in there too. Um, and so, yeah, go outside of TikTok and buy my artwork. 100%. I am now redirecting you outside of TikTok to purchase my merchandise. Okay. Like you can get a Howard the Duck shirt, just like this. Or you can get any of my other shirts that we have available for sale. I think we're up to 26 shirts, I believe, to go with the 22 pieces of artwork that we've got working on outside of this place. So there you go, TikTok. Throw me a restriction. Throw me a bone. Don't give a shit. Um, but yeah, if you want a commission as well, hit me up. I can draw up anything, just like, you know, a family portrait of a long lost pet right here. Yes, he's in a wheelchair. So, and this one is completely sealed front and back, ready to be outside whenever he puts it on the tombstone that he has built for this puppers that he lost. So I got to get in touch with him. He's not contacting me back. Hopefully he's okay. He's an old codger, so hopefully he's okay. Got to get that to him before he passes on. I haven't seen him around in a while. That's the problem. I haven't seen him out and about like I normally do. So again, hopefully he's good to go. Let's see here. So next steps on her car is we've got the tie rods in, we've got it semi-aligned. I know still need to get it aligned properly, but we've got it pretty close. We got to get the new tires on her car, and then get them rotated and balanced and all that good stuff. And I don't know if they will do it again because the last time we tried to get it done, they were like, "Nope, we can't do it because it is not aligned." So they wouldn't even put the tires on. They could put them on the back, but they couldn't put them on the front. So I got to make sure that it is completely aligned and ready to go. On that note, so there you go. Let's see here. And TikTok, you really need to make some changes with yourself. And once I'm gonna be suggesting a bunch of shit. So you guys suggest too. If you can find their suggestion box, go in and be like, hey, look, you guys need to change some shit. Not everybody's gonna sell on the TikTok shop. Okay? Case in point. And I see other people selling their goods out here, and I don't see them getting a restriction. So why are you pinpointing me every time that I start talking about my artwork? And if I just talk about my artwork, you put a restriction on me because you're like, well, you're sending people outside TikTok shop to get your shit. Well, yeah, absolutely, because I don't want you in my shit. Okay, I don't want you in my business, so you can fuck off. And that's just my sentimentality about it, you know. And because I have no love for TikTok, I use it as a tool. That's it. You know, multi asses reporting is my guess. It could be. Who knows? But you know, their AI is listening to everything, and their AI is best for everybody on TikTok, which is bullshit. Because if it was best for everybody on TikTok, you would be monitoring a little better on some of these posts or some of these live shows where, you know, the women have hardly anything on. But yet you're like, okay, that's cool. We're good with that because oh look, they're getting the views, they're getting the attention, and they're keeping it relatively real over there. No, they're selling sex, and you are letting it happen. So yes, absolutely 100%. I feel so safe now that they're regulating. Absolutely. And I'll probably get a restriction for saying sex on here, you know. But you know, I don't care anymore. You know, if I have to change platforms, I'll go straight to YouTube, and I know they've got restrictions over there too, and blah blah blah. Facebook, they don't restrict any of my shit once it goes up because I record it and then put it out there. Um, I haven't had one taken down yet. So, well, sometimes it takes them 6 or 7 years before they start pulling stuff because I've been getting uh, there's a music violation on some of your stuff, and I look at it and it's like 4 or 5 years old, and I'm like, the fuck, you know? And it is what it is, whatever. TikTok needs to change a lot of things when it comes to what they allow, and it needs to be the same across the board. Absolutely 100%. Because, like I said, there's women out there that are in less clothing than what that comic book cover of a piece of artwork showed. And it's like, but yet it's okay. But yet I show it on here with it all blued out, censored out, and yet I still get a restriction. TikTok makes no sense 90% of the time. And I'm surprised more people aren't getting banned or restricted than they are. Not here recently. She has set it off a few times off camera. I'm trying to get them to do stuff on camera, but she's being a little salty bitch, and she's not doing what she's supposed to do up there as a haunted doll TikTok. And so all of them are still active. All of the ghost balls are still active up there. I didn't set up mine over here because it hasn't done anything the past few shows, so I didn't even set it up over here today. But right here on the zombie dice, that has one on top of it, which is sitting right next to the Dybbuk box. Right on Maribel's head, which is right back there. She's got one on top of her head, which has gone off a few different times. And then right up here with Diego, his feet, which you guys are, I'm looking right at it. But right here is Diego with the gold slippers, which is a jester. He's got it on his feet. He's holding it in his feet. Now, I do not have one on the other creepy doll that I'm painting up next to him because I figure if one's going to go off, they're going to set it both off, you know. So, but there hasn't been much activity up there as of late, which I'm a little disappointed in. But you know, what you can't expect it to happen all the time. An artist discusses censorship and running a business on TikTok. Yeah, and you're the one censoring us, you motherfucker. I gotta stop smoking. Just kidding. I don't smoke. Um, Never have. I've tried it. It was disgusting. Thought I was gonna croak. My sister and I both at the time, and so we never did that again. Excuse me. So hopefully you all are doing good out there. Even amongst the restrictions, we've had a few people pop in here and there that have found the show that are friends of the show, and it's I really wish TikTok would fix a lot of different things when it came to how they censored people on a regular basis because you need to make it fair on both sides of the fence. Um, Instead of picking and choosing. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, he was awake prior to the show coming on. He's probably watching some half clothed woman out there on one of her lives. He sent me a live show to some 20 something year old chick, and I'm like, why the fuck do I want to see this, dude? I didn't go click on her page or anything like that, but it's just like, dude, you're 50 something years old. Quit watching the 20-year olds, and find something more age appropriate to yourself. And but yeah, once that live popped up in my messages, I was like, what the fuck is this? Why do I want to watch this? I did not go click on her page, so I don't even know what she was about. But yes, a well is a deep subject, and I need to dig one of those. I really do need to dig a well of my own. I don't know how far down I got to dig, but hopefully not that far, 30, 40 feet maybe. But that's still quite a bit of ground to cover, if you will. Oh, so yes, yes, yes. We're up to 33.1 thousand likes. Popular live category is where we are sitting with three restrictions and getting a few people in and out of the broadcast, um, which is fine. I know I'm not going to see a lot of people coming through just because of the restrictions. And again, TikTok, you need to really seriously go through and scrub what you've got and redo it because your censorship is a bunch of bullshit. Um, and it shows because I can just show my artwork and you are thinking that I'm redirecting people. And that's happened before. Because whenever I got that restriction before, I didn't even tell anybody to go anywhere, to do anything. And they popped the restriction up. You're telling people to go outside of TikTok to purchase merchandise. No, I didn't. I just showed artwork. That is it. And you deemed it as I was telling people to go outside of TikTok shop to get shit. Which people can buy shit outside of TikTok shop all day long. You are not the end all be all. I'm just saying. You're not going to find my shit there. That's for sure. And I'm okay with that. Absolutely 100%. So, and if I ever start selling stuff on your shop, somebody better take my temperature. Absolutely 100%. So, I don't even think my stuff would pass mustard on your TikTok shop because I don't mass produce it and have it sitting behind me, like a lot of these creators do. Um, and that's fine too. So, I'll just play with my tiny tarot deck and be done with it. Dun, dun, dun. Yes, it's a tiny tarot deck. It even says Tiny Tarot on it right there. And yes, they are actual working cards inside there. All 72 of them. 72 cards for your pleasure. Oh, Lordy. TikTok, seriously, change your algorithms and your verbiage in here, because you are not making a ton of people happy. And I'm just going to say that from the bottom of my black heart. Um, that you are very asinine and very inconsistent with your subject matter. Absolutely 100%. Art is art, and it needs to be shown. And I will leave it at that. Absolutely leaving it at that. Because again, I've seen worse stuff on here than what I've shown or what I've even talked about. Calling somebody a jerk face. All right. So you guys figure it out. But that's it for today. We do appreciate each and everybody being here, checking out the channel, chit chatting with us, even through our censorship that TikTok decided to throw on us again. It seems like I can't go through an entire show without being censored anymore, and they can fuck off. All right, TikTok, you can fuck straight off, and that's how I'm going to leave it. You all have a great day, and we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.